So I'm looking at the video, so the parking lot, and this is where Sylvia was. And so somewhere up here with the room where she died, and down here, the basement would be underneath here. The basement where Sylvia was locked up and tortured is here, right here. The stairs, throwing down the stairs, flipping her around, punching her, tying her up. All the kids that were involved would come from neighborhood, surrounding neighborhood, come here and participate in this heinous act against this poor girl. Is right here, right in where the ground is right now, underneath. I don't know when the building was torn down, but they tore it down, which is a good thing. And I'm standing right on top of it. It's something to get emotional about. I get a little bit teary. So this is it right here. So after the house was torn down, some people came in to vandalize the house and wrote on one of the rooms, wrote "I'm a prostitute." That is one of the that comes from the carving on her stomach that they did to her using a heated needle. So this is all done right here, where I'm standing right here. If you see someone just walking around, like just looking around in an empty parking lot, you think the person is crazy, but I certainly am not crazy. I'm here for a reason. And thank God that he gave me the opportunity to worship over there. Actually, I think God gave me the idea to come here and worship on Sunday, but also right across the street from where this atrocity took place, right here where I'm standing. So I'm gonna look around now. This is where the house was, and it's quite a big lot. And this is the neighboring house. And I'm wondering where the phone booth might have been, where Richard Hobbs ran across the street. It could be over there on the other side. This is on other side where the you see the motors. It says something motors on East New York Street. And this street here, it's called Denny. Denny is this street right here. Okay, so this is East New York Street. This is where the building that the house was. And this is Denny. I believe 307 there. I forget the kid's name, but I don't remember his name. The book describes him as a cherub-faced boy. He lived across the street, and apparently he came over to Gertrude's house to participate in atrocities against an innocent girl. I'm not sure if anyone from here participated in this house here right next to it. but I'm pretty sure that this house right here is Richard Hobbs' old house. I'm not gonna go in. I'm not gonna knock on the door. But uh, this is Richard's house, Richard Hobbs' old house, right here. And so he would come down these steps, and then come across, walk this way, and turn right, and have a rendezvous with his friends, so-called friends, and with his either lover or I'm not sure what, uh, Gertrude Benichevsky, and they would participate in evil deeds against an innocent child. And Richard Hobbs was one of the people involved in carving the stomach of Sylvia. And if you listen to the video, he has a really, really matter-of-fact kind of voice. Would say, "Oh yeah, I did that. It was me. I did that. Why did you do that? Oh, because Gertie told me to." So completely callous, completely no sympathy, uh, no sympathy towards an innocent person who suffers so much. 100, more than 100 um, cigarette burns on her body, carving on her stomach, bruises everywhere, fingernails torn backwards. Just unimaginable. So, anyway, this is Richard Hobbs' house. I don't know uh, if any of these kids that were involved, if they lived in any of these houses, but I'm just going to walk on this street and just film so that the viewer can get an idea of what it was like at that time. These look like original houses that go all the way back to 1965. Okay, so I'm just gonna walk a little bit here on Denning Street. Why the neighbors saw what was happening, or heard what was happening, and didn't say anything, completely uh, baffles me. By the way, I just came out of the church service and I was able to meet an actual lady and her husband. The lady has known Sylvia, and I talked to her a little bit, and I recorded it. And so on another video, I will probably put her on there. And at the end of the service, I had the opportunity to sing the song that I wrote for Sylvia in her memory, and whoever were remaining after the service heard me sing the song, perform the song, and I also sang it for the lady that used to know Sylvia. She heard the song, so I will also like to post that on another video as well. So here are some of the houses on this street. They're pretty much the same kind of style. I think these were built around the early 1900s. But it's so sad if one knew what happened here, uh, the history behind this neighborhood. So another thing I want to mention is the fact that I gave this lady, the one that knew Sylvia, I gave her a copy of the lyrics of the song that I wrote. It's called Flying Free. If anyone's interested, you can search on YouTube, it's on there. And it's called Flying Free because I was thinking of putting Sylvia as the person thinking about freeing herself from her imprisonment from that house. And on the back of that sheet that had the lyric on the back of it was printed the picture of Sylvia Likens that you can find on the internet. There aren't too many pictures of her. Uh, but that one is a really well-known one, the one I use. So I thank God that He gave me this opportunity, but also this idea to use to commemorate Sylvia Liking. So here are some of the houses here. I don't know if any of the kids that were involved lived on this street, other than the two I just mentioned. So I'm just going to walk to the intersection and I'll stop the video. If trees had memories, uh, they will remember because they would have been around. But even if that didn't happen, even if trees can't remember, God remembers. God knew what happened that day, during that time. For about 3 months, she was tortured. 3 months. Okay, so this is the end of this segment.